Pentagon has called an urgent assembly of top U.S. military officials in Virginia, with insiders connecting the move to the mysterious object known as 3I Atlas. Deep space observatories recently detected an unprecedented anomaly moving toward our solar system at incomprehensible speeds. In response, Secretary of War Pete Hexith has announced an emergency meeting scheduled for September 30th at Marine Corps Base Quantico. Nearly 800 high-ranking officers, including every general and admiral from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Space Force, have been ordered to attend, marking one of the largest military leadership gatherings in U.S. history. The absence of official explanations has only fueled speculation, as monitoring systems studying the enigmatic Atlas recently suffered unexplained disruptions. Many suspect this meeting is far from routine. It may be a direct response to 3I Atlas and its potential implications for national security. The question remains, what did the military truly detect, and why are preparations unfolding as if this is not just a matter of science, but of survival? In the dead of night, while civilians slept, subtle yet significant deployments began across naval bases, from Norfolk to Pearl Harbor. Classified orders were issued instructing select fleets to redeploy, sonar systems to activate, and satellite-linked defense grids to come online. Light-linked defense grids to come online. Mills Jehovah's Night Lord. Light-linked defense grids to come online. With the thou, this left Y-linked defense grids to come online. Classified orders were issued instructing select No official statement accompanied these movements, yet satellite observers and independent military analysts quickly noted ship activity that diverged from any scheduled drills. The vessels mobilized weren't generic patrol craft. They included Aegis destroyers, ballistic missile defense cruisers, and submarines equipped for deep ocean surveillance. Their unexpected target, an object millions of miles away, known as 3I Atlas. The public questioned why the Navy, not NASA, was leading this charge, but insider leaks provided a chilling rationale. Data from the James Webb Space Telescope and classified military observatories suggested Atlas's behavior defied natural expectations. Its emissions, shifting trajectory, and metallic composition all hinted at something deliberately engineered. Even with a slim chance of intelligent control, military readiness became the top priority. Reports then surfaced of high-level briefings between the Navy and Space Command, including discussions of a contact protocol, a contingency plan merging naval activities with classified aerospace operations. Such a procedure had long been dismissed as conspiracy theory, yet suddenly it seemed alarmingly relevant. Stranger still was the Navy's decision to activate undersea monitoring systems, once used to track Soviet submarines, now recalibrated for space-linked detections. Analysts began murmuring about a stunning theory. If Atlas wasn't mere debris, perhaps it could interact with Earth's oceans. Though extraordinary, this speculation explained the secretive movements. The Navy wasn't merely observing, it was constructing silent grids underwater, preparing for an unknown arrival. If contact was imminent, what kind of encounter were they bracing for? While the Navy worked in secrecy, scientists at NASA raised urgent internal concerns. Leaked reports described 3I Atlas as energetically anomalous and structurally inconsistent with known celestial bodies. These warnings came directly from engineers analyzing James Webb data. The first revelation was size. Public statements claimed Atlas was around a kilometer wide, but classified records suggested it spanned between 30 and 50 kilometers. An impact of that magnitude would be catastrophic, surpassing the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Yet public messaging stayed muted and composed. The second concern came from emission patterns. The second concern came from emission patterns. The second concern came from emission patterns. Infrared readings formed repeating, rhythmic pulses, suggestive of communication. Initially dismissed as coincidence, the persistence of these structured signals forced scientists to reconsider. Some researchers privately labeled the data a directed emission source, and rumors spread that the sequence contained prime number intervals, a hallmark of deliberate design. Once this information reached defense officials, the situation shifted from a scientific enigma to a national security crisis. NASA restricted public access to observational data, silenced whistleblowers, and throttled independent astronomers. Online communities speculated that authorities weren't hiding what Atlas was, or what it might be doing. Fueling the controversy, reports suggested Elon Musk had been privately briefed. Starlink satellite systems reportedly detected interference correlated with Atlas's path, prompting Musk to post and swiftly delete a cryptic comment. "It's bigger than they're saying." The implication was clear. Size and signals weren't the only secrets NASA was guarding. As whispers about Atlas spread, Washington found itself unable to maintain seeing. Ceased as it was about Atlas spread, Washington found itself unable to maintain ceased. Ceased this to anything zajader. With these of the takeovers next was the burst about the initial as dartened of us but Washington found itself what thinking the decay. Members of Congress began receiving classified briefings, igniting a fierce political storm. Lawmakers demanded transparency. Was this merely an extraordinary comet, or something far more deliberate entering our solar system? The White House released a carefully worded assurance, stating that there was no threat to the public and the situation was under review. Still, unease grew behind closed doors. President Donald Trump publicly called Atlas a cover-up bigger than Roswell, accusing NASA of concealing vital truths. Elon Musk's deleted posts, suggesting Atlas's trajectory shifts were technologically suggestive, amplified the commotion. Meanwhile, conspiracy forums erupted with theories that Atlas was an alien probe, a weapon, or even an omen foretold in Scripture. YouTube live streams amassed millions of views overnight, filled with amateur astronomers pointing telescopes skyward, desperate for proof of what governments might be hiding. Beyond social media, civilians living near key naval bases in Virginia and California began noticing disturbances, overnight drills, booming oceanic sounds, and harbor lockdowns without explanation. Rumors circulated that military preparations weren't limited to space monitoring, but extended beneath the seas. Mainstream media joined the frenzy. CNN referred to Atlas as the most extraordinary interstellar object ever recorded, while Fox News quoted unnamed Pentagon insiders calling it a strategic concern. The debate quickly escalated from fringe discussion to global anxiety. Most disturbing were reports from internal sources warning that Atlas could maneuver during its solar conjunction phase. The repeated phrase in classified briefings, "Not a rock, not random," hinted at intelligent motion. As panic spread throughout Washington, the Navy's posture intensified once more. Fleets realigned, radar networks expanded, and deep-sea data channels began non-stop transmission to Pentagon command. Publicly, officials maintained this was standard training. Unofficially, sources confirmed it was something else, an unprecedented defense mobilization for a threat that might not be from Earth. The Navy had reactivated a set of classified procedures written decades earlier to address encounters with unidentified entities. These weren't ordinary research operations, but contingency plans conceived during the Cold War, later modernized in the early 2000s and hidden behind multiple layers of secrecy. The protocols detailed a specific response strategy should Earth ever confront an object beyond natural explanation, something exactly like 3I Atlas. What caused these measures to be initiated? According to leaked intelligence, two unsettling developments forced the issue. First, Atlas began showing subtle, yet clearly intentional trajectory adjustments, course shifts impossible to attribute to solar radiation or normal outgassing. Second, deep-sea acoustic sensors detected mysterious low-frequency vibrations, coinciding precisely with Atlas's intensified emissions. The implication was deeply alarming. These signals weren't merely sent into outer space, they were resonating through Earth's oceans. This eerie link between the heavens and the sea triggered full-scale naval mobilization. Submarines equipped with sophisticated sonar arrays and electronic warfare technology dispersed across both the Atlantic and Pacific. Carrier groups shifted positions to serve as mobile command centers. Meanwhile, civilian satellite companies noticed restricted communication channels as certain frequencies abruptly went dark. Behind the wall of official silence, whispers spread of internal war simulations exploring catastrophic outcomes. What if Atlas didn't just pass through? What if it decelerated or descended? The question was no longer theoretical. Its peculiar jet-like plume, directed counter to the solar wind, appeared less like a natural tail and more like engineered thrust. Within fortified command bunkers, Pentagon strategists debated their response, ranging from continued monitoring to potential engagement. Amid these classified exercises, one chilling directive appeared in every scenario: prepare for submersible entry. If Atlas were capable of descending into Earth's atmosphere or its oceans, the Navy wanted a preemptive plan. Yet even as these preparations moved forward, a new discovery emerged that magnified the mystery into something far more disturbing. The event that changed everything didn't originate from telescope imagery, but from a Pentagon leak. A mid-level defense analyst, remaining unnamed for safety, revealed details that unsettled even the highest-ranking officials. Atlas, he claimed, wasn't merely massive, it was hollow. Radar scans from the Navy's most advanced systems showed internal voids where there should have been dense material. Instead of a uniform core, data indicated repeating, symmetrical cavities, a deliberate structure rather than random crevices. Engineers reviewing the findings described the patterns as architectural, resembling a ship's reinforced hull rather than fractured stone. The next revelation was equally extraordinary. Underwater listening networks, originally built to monitor Soviet submarine activity, began registering ultra-low frequency pulses, occurring every 11.2 seconds. These vibrations mirrored the precise rhythmic sequence NASA had already logged in Atlas's infrared data. In essence, the exact same pulse existed simultaneously in outer space and within Earth's oceans. The conclusion unsettled analysts across agencies. It appeared Atlas wasn't merely transiting the solar system, but interacting with it. Whether this represented communication, data collection, or something far more invasive remained unclear. However, the signals intensified as Atlas drew closer to the inner planets. Once fragments of these classified reports reached members of Congress, anxiety surged through Washington. Emergency briefings warned that if Atlas maintained its course, the object would reach its closest proximity to Earth within months. While not on a collision path, its alignment with the orbital plane appeared deliberate rather than random. Online speculation exploded, with theories ranging from Atlas being an extraterrestrial vessel to an enormous resource extraction platform, or even a link to the elusive Black Triangle craft long rumored by military pilots. Major news organizations cautiously referenced irregular behavior from the object while dismissing alien theories as mere hysteria. Yet behind the scenes, the Navy heightened its readiness to unprecedented levels. Emergency budgets flowed into undisclosed operations, deploying new submarines to strategic choke points across the Atlantic. The most unsettling document to emerge bore a heading printed in red ink: Atlas Event Tier 1 Preparedness. If genuine, this indicated a threat classification reserved exclusively for existential dangers. Even that revelation, however, would soon be eclipsed by events that forced even firm skeptics to question everything they once believed possible. By late autumn, the tension had evolved from discreet anxiety to open alarm. For months, 3i Atlas had occupied the focus of secret military briefings, covert redeployments, and erratic information leaks that eluded government suppression. But as it approached perihelion, the point nearest the sun, everything changed. This solar conjunction rendered Earth's instruments temporarily blind, telescopes overwhelmed by glare, communications distorted by plasma storms. Scientists worldwide could do little but wait, hoping the object would reappear on schedule. When it finally did, the data sent shockwaves through every control center monitoring the situation. Atlas's course had shifted. Atlas's course had shifted into the civil heavens. Overwhelmed had conjuncted, shifted little light. Atlas's course had shifted just changes with a thunderstorm. The change was minute, measured in mere degrees, yet enough to scramble every orbital projection. NASA's calculations, the European Space Agency's predictions, even secret Pentagon simulations, none could explain the deviation. The simplest explanation was also the most disturbing. Atlas had deliberately altered its path. Inside U.S. Navy command facilities, the atmosphere turned electric. Months of simulated emergency readiness were suddenly transforming into real-world execution. Naval fleets redeployed across key maritime zones. Submarines dove to new operating depths, while reconnaissance satellites were recalibrated to focus on the region surrounding Atlas's new vector. The Air Force, too, elevated its alert protocols. Every maneuver appeared systematic, coordinated, and urgent, yet the government's official response remained muted. Tracking continues as expected. Few believed it. Not after months of secrecy. Not after the data revealing propulsion, like emissions from its jet plume. Public reaction erupted almost instantly. Elon Musk posted cryptic remarks, hinting that SpaceX was preparing to assist in national defense operations, igniting a frenzy of online speculation. At a rally, President Donald Trump accused the Biden administration of concealing the truth about Atlas's origins. The media fractured into chaos, some outlets downplaying panic, others amplifying it with alleged insider confirmations about emergency briefings at the White House. Across the globe, people looked to the sky. Millions tuned into live streams, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious interloper. Online forums overflowed with claims of luminous objects near the moon, while heated debates raged over whether Atlas represented a probe, a spacecraft, or something completely beyond comprehension. Religious figures called it a celestial sign. Financial analysts warned of looming instability should fear spread should fear spread should fear spread with lists looming instability should fear spread Then came an eerie stillness. For 3 consecutive days, the Navy's enormous undersea listening posts, hydroacoustic systems normally used for submarine tracking and seismic detection, ceased recording the electromagnetic signals once linked to Atlas. The rhythmic pulses vanished. The echoes were gone. Only silence remained. Officials attributed it to technical recalibration, but intelligence circles whispered alternate theories. Some claimed that Atlas had finally moved out of detectable range. Others suggested something far darker, that it hadn't disappeared at all, but was now hidden within Earth's orbit, concealed by stealth or advanced cloaking. And thus, the narrative concluded not in resolution, but in dread. A global military on alert. A government speaking half-truths. Citizens torn between denial, awe, and fear. The greater question was no longer about what Atlas truly was, but why it had come now, at this specific juncture in human advancement, when technology finally allowed us to witness it only for the entity to respond with movement. Many believed the countdown had already begun. And in the void of that silence, one realization outweighed all speculation. Whatever three-eye Atlas may be, it knows we are watching, and it may already be watching us in return.